This is the first one out of 8. Pause the whole time. Okay. I'm just gonna go over it as if I'm doing it right now. I feel like that's the best way to learn. If I just say it's like here, the answer is not the same. So the odds of a student passing Mr. D's class would be 14 to 1. Okay, so odds of, or odds in favor of passing. So that means that this is passing, this is not passing. Okay, all right. And I will look at it. So if you can show me once. State the probability of a student passing math class. Oops, there's probability, right? Highlight that. We're going from odds to probability. So I would say add it up, right? That's the safe way to do it. And passing, probability of passing, well, the 14 represent the number of students passing, so it's 14 out of 15. Bingo. And why are there 2 marks there? I think I'm going to give you 1 mark for each correct entry. I'm going to give you 1 mark for each correct entry, so it's a bit overkill. Okay, I'm going to make a note. There you go. And 2 marks there. If Mr. D teaches 95 grade 12 students in a year, how many will pass his math class? Prediction. So you go 14 over 15 times 95. You get 86.6 repeated. So no, not 86, right? 88, sorry. 88.6 repeated, and that's, so you have to say either 88 or 89 students. The probability of Sisler's volleyball team winning an upcoming tournament would be 4 over 15, right? So that's basically saying this, right? Probability of win is 4 over 15. That's what this is saying. So now we're asked, what are the odds? Odds of, so odds in favor of winning. So I would strongly suggest you tell yourselves in words or letters what you're doing, right? So that means that win goes first and not winning goes second. So that means that the not, I always do second. Okay, so 4 wins, and you can do mental math, right? It's 11 losses, right, out of 15 games, but I go 15 minus 4. So it'll be 4 to 11. 4 to 11. So why 2 marks? I would say 1 mark for each correct entry today. Usually I don't, but I think for this one, we're still learning, so it's okay. What are the odds against Sisler winning the tournament? You already have the odds. So even if you got the odds here wrong, up here, if you flip it, I would give you the full mark. I would say step, right? I usually say step check. That means that the number is not what I'm looking for, but based on what you've done before, you've done the correct work there. I feel like either my projector the bulb is getting weaker or my eyes are getting weaker. I don't know. There are 4 blue, 6 green, 5 red, so that's 15 total. State the odds against drawing a blue marble, right? So that means that you got to go not blue and blue, like that. Morning. We're doing the AC now that I gave you on Friday. We're going over it. So if you have it ready there. So not blue first. No, I don't do not blue first. I always do the event first. So I go blue, there's 4, and I go 50 minus 4 here. So it'll be 11 to 4. It's interesting that I use the same numbers, but hey, that's okay. So 1 mark for each correct entry today. When it's out of 2, that's how I go. Okay. Odds of drawing a green marble. Odds of green. So that means green, not green in this order. So I start with the green and I go 15 minus the 6. That'll be 6 to 9. There we go. 1 mark for each number that you did correctly. But I would say if the numbers are correct but they're flipped, like it's flipped, it's not in that order. What What are we going to do today? For today, just -1 as well. If the numbers are correct, but you have them flipped, still -1. State the probability of drawing a red marble. Probability of red. Okay, that's what we're doing here. We need the total, which we already determined way up here. You could have added any of these odds and get 15 there too. Right? So it has to jive in math. Always check, does my answer jive with what I've done before? Does it make sense, right? So red, we have 5. 1/3, because I want to show off my math skills, so I'm going to reduce that one. So 1 mark for each entry there too. If it's out of 2, the odds against drawing a red. So there's that odds again. We're flipping to odds. It's against red. So that means that we have it in this order. Okay. So I start with red, which is 5. And then it's 15 minus 5 here. I do the naught second, right? So 10 to 5 or 2 to 1. That's up to you how you want to do it. So just be honest, okay? You're still having a bit of a learning curve. I know probability and odds is probably the unit that on the exam, it's almost right, but not quite. You know what I mean? Like if you do the odds almost right, but not quite, you don't get the marks. Okay, so today I'm giving you marks for partial work. So 1 and 1, right? So that, just so you know, that's how it goes. The Jets play against the Senators. The odds of the Jets winning would be 5 to 4. That means that this is win and this is them not winning. And you should know out of 9 games, if we considered 9 games, because 5 and 4 is 9, 5 would be wins, 4 would be losses. State the odds against the Jets winning. This is a slam dunk, just like that. Just flip it. If you already have odds 4, then against is just flipping it. State the probability of win. Show this, please. Show yourselves that you're adding these two numbers. And we want probability of winning. So 5. We determined that the first number represents wins based on the first statement. So that's 5/9. 1 mark for each correct entry there. State the probability against the Jets winning. So basically this. You could just go 5 plus 4 again if you go to the original. And then the not win is the 4 here. So that 4 comes over here. Okay, this 4 comes over there. The 5 came there. So this is 4/9. And look, probability of winning and not winning, if you can tell that this is going to be 9/9, which is 1, right? Or 100%. You want to see that. You want to see that. So this page has 19 marks. I'm just going to check 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 14, 16, and 3, that's 19. Yeah, so we're out of 19 on this page. I'm a bit generous there with marks, but it doesn't really matter. It could be worth 1,000,000 marks, right? You just give yourself the marks that you earn. And if you taught in elementary and you said it's worth 1,000,000 marks, they would all be like, oh, right? But it's the same thing as 4 out of 5 is the same thing as 4 million out of 5 million, right? Like it's really the same percentage-wise. Okay, Laura is spinning the wheel depicted. She spins 25 times and recorded the following results. Your brain should be like, I know it's Monday morning, so maybe not right now, but it should be like click. Oh, okay, something happened, like trials were done, right? Like somebody recorded their results, right? So let's just check. This is 15 and 10, that's 25, okay? 25 total trials. Feels like I can't even write today. State all the answers as a fraction and as a decimal. And remember, this is the actual spinner here. This is what we're going to use for theoretical. And we're going to use this for experimental. theoretical, experimental. Okay, so state the probability the spinner landing on purple. In theory, we're going to go by this. There are 2 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections, right? So 2 out of 5, which is 0.4. Experimental, we are going to grab, right? It happened 4 times out of 25 times. And this gives you 0.16. I will say this, you get 1.5 for this, and you get 1.5 for that. So careful. If your fraction here is off, if these numbers are not what they're supposed to be, -1, I would give you half a mark for turning it into a decimal. Okay, so you still get a half mark there for doing the work. Next, state the probability of the spinner landing on red. Probability, so it's either theoretical or experimental. For theoretical, we have 1 red section out of 5, that's 0.2. Experimental, 7 out of 25 trials. And that gives you 0.28, 28%. 1.5, 1.5, okay? State the odds, okay. So you gotta watch out, I do a lot of that back and forth. State the odds of the spinner landing on purple. In theory, you can either use your answer here, right? It's 2 purple, and therefore 3, it doesn't land on purple. Right? You can't do decimal, obviously, there, so don't worry about that. I'm going to give you just 2 marks, so 1 mark here. And this one, experimental, purple happens 4 times. And then this would be 25 minus 4, right? That'd be 4 to 21. And next, if Laura spins the spinner 1,850 times, how many times should she expect it to land on yellow? I haven't done the probability of yellow yet, but a prediction, make sure you write this down. I hope you keep your ACs, right? It's the theoretical probability of yellow times 1,850 in this case. In theory, we have 1 yellow section out of 5, and that's 1,850 times 1,850. We have what, 370? 370 times? So I would give you, watch this, if I see the theoretical probability of 1/5 there, you already get 1 mark, and then you get another mark for having the correct final answer. So let me see here, 3, 6, 8, 10. The back side is out of 10. The front side is out of 18. No. 19? 19. Sorry, Danielle, go ahead. Letter C is 2. 1 for each. Okay. So 10 and 19, that's 29. I know it's a weird number, but make some changes, and that's okay. We can live with that. So just scratch that 27, right, like that, and just make this out of 29. Name and last name on there. And if you didn't do sections of it, just let me know. I mean, I checked most of you.